Good evening, my beautiful friends. This is Nightfall with Maui Paul. I am here today, and we are here today together to talk about the I Am card that I pulled this morning. So, if you were here this morning for the wake up call, you know that we pulled the I Am Bold card. We said and we affirmed this morning that we are bold, that we recognize opportunity and move decisively. And I feel like that card showed up in my life today, and I'm excited to know how it possibly showed up in yours. So let me just turn on the chat here. So I'm going to ask you if you are bold, and you're going to respond, "I am bold." And let's just play that I am game once more. So, are you bold? You are bold. Today, you recognized opportunity and moved decisively in ways that were important to your life. So, you are bold today. And I'm going to write that down in the chat. I'm just going to write it on down because today I was bold. I was bold physically, I was bold mentally, I was bold relationally. I did a lot of bold stuff today, and I'm really happy about it. So I went over to the gym with my friend Brenda Jean and pushed hard, pushed my body to the max, and it was a good day. It was a good time over there with her, and so I was bold there. And I was bold to say yes to a whole bunch of different invitations and a whole bunch of different, social situations and things like that. I feel like I really just showed up as my true and authentic self today. I had to have some bold and honest conversations, and some of which were kind of difficult for me. And I did it, and I knocked it out, and I'm really proud of how I did. So today I felt bold, and I acted bold, and even like the way that I dressed, I chose to dress boldly today, and really felt like I was I really felt like I was having an amazing time. So I would absolutely love to know how it was that this card showed up for you. So how are you bold today? I would love to know that. And meanwhile, while you guys write all that down, I just want to say good evening. I see you there, Brenda Jean. I see you there, Shauna. Good evening. Nice to see you guys here on Nightfall with Maui Paul. It's fun to go through these cards at the end of the day and to recognize that when I said it in the morning, and I think I had a great wake up call this morning. Um, but when I said it in the morning, it was something where I wasn't entirely sure how it would show up for me. And then in the evening, I realized and recognized how I am bold became a touchstone for my day. It became something that was very well present for me. Shauna says, I was bold today in saying no to a personal ambush. Well, I'm glad that you were bold to saying no for that. Isn't it funny how some people will just want to personally ambush us? Perhaps they wanted to, they just want to set us up for failure in some way. Maybe it's, some way that they're trying to trap us with our words, that they're just trying to get us to go to a place or say yes to something that we don't want to say yes to. And yeah. So I'm glad that you were bold, Shauna, in saying no to that sort of thing. You were wise enough to recognize it, and you understood. We recognize opportunity. Well, you recognize that somebody else had an opportunity to ambush you, and you're like, not having it. Good for you. Go you. And Brenda Jean says, on an afternoon meeting, I suggested action items for herself, and they got them all done today. Good job, Brenda Jean. I know that you just rock it in the corporate world, going off and being a corporate queen, and you and I rocked it in the gym today. So go us. Yeah, it was definitely a day for boldness. So I'm grateful that you guys are experiencing these cards in the same way that I am. And as we were bold today, we were still very determined, moving intentionally toward our dreams. That was our card for Sunday. Our weekly card was that I am determined. And we are determined. We're determined to act boldly to accomplish the things that are important to us, the things which we need to accomplish in order to be actualized as human beings. So I'm proud of us. Go us. We are doing some really amazing work, and so that's super cool. And I was bold insofar as setting up my tomorrow. I was able to chat with my aunt today. Okay, so my aunt doesn't watch this broadcast, but let me tell you, I got to brag on her a little bit. She finished the Appalachian Trail in 1 year, and she's my aunt, and she is just like super duper amazing. And so actually, she called me, or I called her today to congratulate her, and she sent me off on a little errand to get her a souvenir from the trailhead of the trail, which is literally like 15 minutes from my place. So so I'm gonna go do that for her, and it was so interesting how, we chatted for a little while, and she asked me to do this for her, and I'm like, that sounds like an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. So I lined up a friend, and we're gonna go there tomorrow, and we're gonna go climb the steps at Amicalola Falls, which is this big waterfall around here, and there's just, I mean, 600 and something steps to get up to the top of it. It's definitely quite the climb. But anyways, yeah, so I feel like I was bold to say yes to that, and to just immediately move on something that was important to her, and that I'm really proud of her for doing. So go her. It's really bold to take 9 months out of your life and go hike the Appalachian Trail, and that's exactly what she did. So I am proud of her. Anyhow, yeah, so Brenda Jean says, Shauna, I'm learning how to politely say no thank you. I often take on too much, being an acts of service person. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand that. I Acts of service is a huge love language for me, and I had to learn how to say no to people for things, because people would realize that I enjoyed helping out, and then they would really take advantage. And I've had this happen over and over again in my life, where I'd be doing a little bit of something, and then all of a sudden I'd be running the whole thing. And just because I'm capable of it doesn't mean that it serves me to do it. And so I've created rules for myself, which are that if I'm serving somebody, if I'm helping out with some project, that a prerequisite for me doing that is that I am learning something, or my life is improving in some way for having done it. So I do it for me first and for them second. And in doing, things for myself, when other people also benefit from that, that is icing on the cake. I absolutely love it when that happens. But ultimately, I have 24 hours in a day, and I need to be accountable to myself for how I use those. So, anyways, as we as I go through my day and have people asking me to to do this or that or the other thing, I am bold in recognizing the opportunity for them to use more of me, to take more than I've given, and I decide, is it good for me or isn't it? And I will always leave myself an out by saying, hey, this is, I will do this, I will commit to this for this time period. So yeah. Brenda Jean says, Maui Paul, I say no thank you to your help sometimes, because I want to love you for you, not for what you can do for me. Aw, well, I appreciate that, Brenda Jean. I love you for you and not what you can do for me. And that's the same that's the same kind of love I have for everybody. I recognize that the people who I love and care about, I love them for who they are. And the fact is that I love all the people who watch this broadcast. I love you for who you are, and not what I think you can do for me, because ultimately, we all have to face the reality that uh, not that if we love people for what they can do for us, then they become expendable and disposable. And how is that any kind of a relationship? I think it's so much more important to love people for who they are, and then in doing so, the relationship can continue to last for a really long time. So I will be back. Today is Thursday, so I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go through one more card for this week, and then next week I'm going to be debuting some new cards. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, Prince Jean is boldly going to bed early. Good night. Good night to everybody here. I am not boldly going to bed early. I am boldly taking care of a client phone call at 11 p.m. my time. The joys of an international client base. But what you going to do there? It's At least I am boldly working on different continents at the same time, right? Even if it's sometimes 11 p.m. when I have to do a phone call. So fortunately, that doesn't happen all that regularly. But I am taking advantage of the fact that I have to do something at 11 p.m. to just continue working on some quiet computer work, and breaking my technology, or my turn off technology at 9:30 rule today, because I have other stuff to do. So I have set myself up for a I've set myself up for an evening of productivity. So have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you so much again for for coming by, and I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the wake up call. And aloha from paradise.